Meghan Markle has been widely praised for her speech on the death of Black American George Floyd, with one friend stating the comments show the old Meghan is back. Meghan Markle shared an emotional video message yesterday, where she spoke out against racism in the U.S. and addressed the death of George Floyd. Speaking to students at her old school, Immaculate Heart High in Los Angeles, the Duchess described the recent events as devastating. Meghan has been widely praised for sharing the heartfelt speech, with even Piers Morgan, one of her strongest critics, thanking the royal for speaking so honestly about race. A source close to the Duchess told Vanity Fair that while Meghan was keen to speak out on the current protests, she was unsure how best to communicate this, as royals are not meant to get involved with politics. The source said, like many people, Meghan has felt very raw about what has happened. This is a key issue for her. She knew whatever she said had to be communicated appropriately. There have been a lot of discussion. It wasn't easy, but she was determined to say something. These are her words, her sentiments, it's 100% her. Another source, who has worked closely with the Duchess on her charity work, said the speech reminded her of the old Meghan. The friend said, listening to her was like hearing the old Meghan. She sounds less restrained and more herself and much more how I remember her from when we first met, way back before she was a member of the royal family. At the start of the video, Meghan revealed she was unsure whether to speak publicly about Mr. Floyd's death. She said, I wasn't sure what I could say to you. I wanted to say the right thing and I was really nervous that it would get picked apart. And I realized the only wrong thing to say is to say nothing. The video was recorded to mark the school's virtual graduation ceremony and used the speech to emphasize that Black Lives Matter. She listed off a number of black men and women who had recently died, and said, George Floyd's life mattered, and Breonna Taylor's life mattered, and Philando Castile's life mattered, and Tamir Rice's life mattered. Meghan then discussed the recent protests that has seen tens of thousands of Americans demonstrate across the country, calling for an end to racism, discrimination and police brutality. She said, we are seeing people stand in solidarity, we are seeing communities come together and to uplift. And you are going to be part of this movement. The Duchess of Sussex also shared her own experience of protests, recounting her memories of the 1992 Los Angeles riots. Similarly to the ongoing protests, Meghan said the unrest had been triggered by a senseless act of racism. She recalled the smell of the billowing smoke rising from burning buildings and men holding rifles as they traveled around in the back of a van. Meghan said, those memories don't go away.